I'm Ryan March, COO here at Apex Wheels, and today I am excited to dive into the new ML-10RT, part of our Forged touring line. For those of you who love heritage motorsport styling but refuse to compromise on modern performance, this one's for you. At first glance, the ML-10RT might feel familiar, and that's intentional. It pays tribute to the lipped, meshed face wheels that dominated the racetracks in what many of us consider the golden era of motorsports, the 80s and 90s. But that's where the similarities end. What makes the ML-10RT truly exciting is how we've taken that iconic design and reimagined it using today's cutting-edge monoblock forging technology. This wheel was engineered from the ground up to deliver all the aesthetic appeal of a multi-piece mesh design, but with modern performance advantages baked in. We've reduced weight, we've pushed spoke concavity to the limits, we've built in massive brake clearance for today's big brake kits, and we've done away with the maintenance headaches that come along with multi-piece wheels. No gaskets, no leaks, no polishing, no compromises. In this video, I'll walk you through why we choose to bring this classic form into a modern forged monoblock format. We'll talk about the origin story behind the design, the specific problems we set out to solve, and why this wheel isn't just a visual tribute, it's a full-blown evolution. Let's dive in. The birth of the ML-10RT was completely unscripted. It wasn't part of a product roadmap or a market pitch. It started the way that the best projects often do, in a garage. One of our senior engineers, Josh, was deep into building his dream race car, a fully stripped and caged wide-body E46 M3, inspired by the GTRs that dominated the ALMS in the early 2000s. And this wasn't a build that he was simply handing off to a motorsport shop. Josh was doing all the work himself, even the cage fabrication, wrenching late into the night after long days here at Apex, and spending his weekends chasing the vision of the cars that he grew up watching at Laguna Seca just down the road from where he lives. He needed a wheel that could fill out the ridiculously wide GTR fenders and deliver the performance he needed on track. And he desired a timeless motorsport look. When we leaked early prototypes on social, the reaction from the community was absolutely overwhelming. Enthusiasts lit up the comment section. Emails started pouring in, and within days, we knew that this wasn't just a wheel designed for Josh's car, it was something that the entire community wanted as well. We followed up by launching a survey expecting a couple hundred responses. Instead, we got over 10,000. Enthusiasts with all different makes and models weighed in on design specs, widths, finishes, and desired fitments. The community truly brought this wheel design to life. The ML-10RT joins our forged touring line, and it's actually the first forged wheel to feature a machined front lip, which really sets it apart from everything else in the Apex catalog. It's a standout design, and it's a great example of what the touring line is all about. The forged touring line represents what we believe is the ideal middle ground between aesthetic styling and our core commitment to real performance. It gives our engineers the freedom to explore bold and iconic designs that really resonate with the enthusiast community. Now, I want to be transparent. These are not the absolute lightest wheels that we make. That title belongs to our Forged Sprint line, where we chase every gram of weight savings, and we may make sacrifices in design complexity to serve pure motorsport function. But not every wheel design we nor our customers love fits in that mold, and that's where the touring line really shines. Some of the designs in this family, like the ML-10RT with its high spoke count and deep lip, inherently carry a little bit more mass. But that doesn't mean that we take shortcuts or abandon performance engineering. Quite the opposite, actually. We've engineered it to perform. Stiffness, strength, durability, and even weight are still front and center in our design process. So while the touring line gives us more creative flexibility, we never let form come at the expense of function. You're not just getting a beautiful wheel, you're getting a beautiful wheel that's built to be driven, and built the Apex way. Let's take a deeper look at why we chose a monoblock construction for the ML-10RT, and why you won't see a single bolt or seam on this wheel. Multi-piece wheels absolutely have their place in history. They were born from the need for modularity. Back in the day, race teams needed quick ways to change specs trackside, different widths, different sizes, different offsets, and even different barrel sizes. And for that, three-piece wheels were the answer. But today, the game has changed. Modern motorsport, including F1, IMSA, and other forms of GT racing, have all migrated to forged monoblock wheels. Why? Because they simply perform better. Multi-piece wheels introduce compromises that are no longer necessary. You add weight with the extra hardware, gaskets, and redundant material. You reduce brake clearance due to inner rim design limitations. And let's not forget the maintenance, polishing lips, resealing barrels, torque checking bolts. It's a never-ending cycle. With a forged monoblock like the ML-10RT, you're going to eliminate all of that. You get a wheel that's purpose-built from a single solid blank of 6061 T6 aluminum. There are no leak points, no fasteners to loosen, no flex between parts under lateral load. And thanks to modern engineering and manufacturing techniques, we don't need modularity to dial in the perfect fitment. We tailor each application, offset, spoke depth, concavity, to your specific vehicle's needs using 3D laser scanning data. So while the ML-10RT pays visual homage to a multi-piece era, underneath, it's a modern monoblock wheel just like those found on the championship-winning cars of today. Now let's take a closer look at what makes the forged ML-10RT such a unique and capable wheel, both in design and performance. Like all Apex forged wheels, the ML-10RT starts with 6061 T6 aluminum under a 10,000-ton press. But what really sets it apart is our custom motorsport dies, a project that took us over 2 years to finish. While many brands rely on the off-the-shelf street dies that limit design flexibility, our dies give our engineers complete control over the spoke depth, inner lip geometry, concavity, and even unlocks aggressively wide fitments that are often found on Porsches and Corvettes that are typically off-limits with generic blanks. And while the ML-10RT isn't the lightest wheel design in our lineup, by design, we were still obsessive about removing unnecessary weight without sacrificing structural integrity. Every aspect of this wheel has been shaped by the FEA analysis and real-world performance requirements. We use aggressive side milling that's more than just cosmetic. It removes material where it's safe to do so, and it keeps material where strength matters most. We're not faking performance with a shallow tracer cut or leaving excess material on the backside of the spoke for style points. This is real weight savings we're talking about, grounded in function. We also use deep CNC pocketing on the back pad between the lug holes. It's a hidden detail, but it's one that makes a meaningful difference and reduces rotational mass and unsprung weight. Brake clearance is another area where the ML-10RT really shines. Traditional multi-piece wheels of a similar look with a front lip often struggle in this department. Their construction limits spoke geometry and barrel shape, forcing many drivers to either upsize wheel diameters, run compromise offsets, or avoid this aesthetic altogether. This is not the case here. At Apex, we use 3D scan data for a wide range of OEM and aftermarket brake kits so that we can design our spokes around the brakes. The ML-10RT uses the same 0-degree draft barrel design found in our Sprintline wheels. Unlike tapered barrels, this maximizes all the usable space inside the wheel for caliper clearance and allows for more debris to fit in between. That means you can often run smaller diameter wheels, gain access to more tire options, more affordable tire options, and cut down even more on rotational mass without compromising on form or fitment. Then there's the front lip, and this one is special to us. The machine front lip on the ML-10RT is the first for Apex. It brings an unmistakably classic look straight out of the vintage motorsport culture. But unlike traditional polished lips that require constant upkeep to avoid oxidation and water spotting, our lip is machine finished and clear coated for protection. It delivers that crisp, reflective look, the one that you want, without all the headaches that come along with regular polishing or corrosion. On the inside of the barrel, the ML-10RT borrows from our high-performance Sprintline once again. It features a Sprint spec inner lip, which adds roughly 30% more material than our flow-formed wheels, about a half a pound of reinforcement placed exactly where it increases impact resistance. Whether you're hitting potholes on the street or curbing hard at the racetrack, this inner lip is designed to take that hit and keep rolling. From a fit and finish standpoint, we've integrated the ability for these wheels to accept center caps. All these wheels ship standard with our gloss black Apex center caps, but we went the extra mile and developed them to also accept your OEM center caps for most applications. So if you're running a BMW and you want to use your roundels, or a Porsche owner who prefers to use the Porsche Crest caps, we've got you covered. It's a small detail, but it's one that our customers really appreciate. Another thoughtful detail is our laser-etched barrel engraving. which shows you what your wheel specs are at a glance: width, offset, load rating, vehicle fitment, and even hardware details. Whether you're replacing a wheel or getting yourself ready to purchase a new set, this makes it a lot easier to identify your specifications. And finally, and arguably the most important, is our commitment to third-party testing. Every forged Apex wheel, including the ML-10RT, is independently tested right here in the US by accredited labs like ITS or STL. We don't just meet JWL standards, we exceed them, and we publish our testing data publicly. No vague promises, no smoke and mirrors, just real, verified performance. The ML-10RT is made to be driven, hard and often. Offered in diameters from 17-inch to 20-inch, with vehicle-specific fitments tailored specifically for your platform, in 5-lug and in center lock applications. And pricing is within reach. So that's the ML-10RT, a wheel that captures the spirit of the golden motorsport era and re-engineers it for the modern driver. It takes everything we loved about multi-piece classic mesh designs and solves the real-world challenges they posed. We'll throw out the checkered flag on this one, but if you want to explore more about fitments, finishes, and sizes, head over to apexwheels.com or just hit the link in the description below. Got questions? Drop them in the comment section. We always love hearing from fellow enthusiasts. And if you want more in-depth content on our forged lineup or real performance philosophy, or the engineering behind our wheels, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the other videos on our channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys at the track.